Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 2189, and today's date is June 2nd, 2020, and the title of the episode is Lockdown States Are Opening, Gold Will Destroy the Central Bank System. Let's talk about retirement. A lot of folks have lost hope recently. There's a lot of despair around and a few sleepless nights. With the stock market returning minus 10% since the start of the year, it's all looking dismal. But it doesn't have to be. Crazy as it sounds, gold has actually gained around 15%. That's 25% more bang for your buck. It is the only investment that has kept its value over 5,000 years. If you are interested in securing your wealth, call Noble Gold at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347, or click the link below. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the entire economic system is coming online, one state at a time, one business at a time. And it is happening right now. Those states that are locked down right now, they are getting pressure from the people within those states. People cannot survive with their businesses not opening. People can't survive not going back to work. And the people now are reaching their breaking point. And this is why these lockdown states are being pressured into opening up, because these individuals, they see what is happening around the country, where states are now open. Some states, it's business as usual. Some areas, no masks, nothing. And everything is fine. This whole entire event, these scare tactics, all falling apart now. People are waking up. People are starting to realize that it is now time to go back to work. First, we had Michigan, where the governor was pressured into opening up. We have New Jersey now, Governor Phil Murphy. He's saying that we're moving into stage 2, and they're reopening the state. Hair salons, barbershops can reopen on June 22nd. Now, why are they waiting so long? There is absolutely no reason. Right now, they did not give a date for gyms. Restaurant owners are asking for June 5th, but of course, what are they trying to do? They're trying to push this off. They don't want to open this up too quickly, not because of the virus, because they actually have their marching orders to keep everything shut down. And the people are continually pressuring them to open up. And as more and more businesses open up and more people go back to work, everything is going to start to reverse. It already started. The unemployment numbers are going to come down. GDP numbers are going to go back up. People are going to go back to the mall, and they're going to go back to shopping. People are going to go out and purchase homes. Actually, at this point, to purchase a car, to go and purchase a home, to go to college, the interest rate is close to zero. Is it exactly zero? No. But it is much lower than before the pandemic. Now people have the ability to do a lot more. People have the buying power to go out and get the things they need or go back to school with virtually zero interest. Think about that for a sec. Do I think Trump is going to make the push to bring the rates down even further? Yes, I do. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. No, but he's going to push. And we might see him come down. He's going to gauge how the economy is doing. He's going to gauge how the stimulus is going. He's going to gauge how the USMCA, when that comes online, how that is doing. And then with the National Emergency Defense Production Act, he will then say, okay, this is what we need to do. Now, what I find very interesting is that the deep state, yes, they're on their second event with the riots. And we can see throughout the cities, they're destroying them. Destroying buildings, they're destroying businesses, they're destroying sidewalks, they're destroying a lot. Now remember, Trump, he would like an infrastructure bill. He would like to rebuild America. Now, let's think about this for a second. We have these individuals going around destroying America. Do you think he can make a case now saying, listen, yes, the infrastructure is crumbling, but now we have an additional problem. Now we have sidewalks, streets, buildings, all destroyed. And it's not good. We're going to need an infrastructure bill. I do believe this is something he can do at this point. And what is Congress going to say? No, because remember, the entire country is watching this. The entire country is watching what happens. Congress is continually backing themselves into a corner with all of this. And the people, they're starting to realize what is happening. And I do believe everything that's going on, Trump understands the playbook of the mainstream media, the deep state, the central bank, and he's maneuvering all of this to benefit what he wants to do. He wants to use all the ammunition in the central bank. Everything that the mainstream media has been telling us for years. So with the mainstream media, they've been telling us, look at the stock market, look at the unemployment numbers, look at the credit card data. This will tell you how well the economy is doing. This is exactly what Trump is doing. He's telling everyone, yeah, look at the market. Look at the unemployment numbers. He's telling them to do exactly that. That is the central bank illusionary economy. What else is he using against them? Well, in a central bank illusionary economy, he's using the stimulus. He's using lower interest rates because he understands that lowering the rates, pushing stimulus will keep a central bank system moving along long enough for him to transition and build the people's
contaminated. So the elite are saving it. That's easy. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Our parents, our great-grandparents did not buy bottled water. There was no need to. People say, no way, they were buying bottled water. Ladies and gentlemen, the middle class and poor people buy bottled water now. If bottled water is supposed to be an elite thing to do, which it's not. It's a common thing to do. But guess what? It's been commoditized for the common man. Yep. Clean water is a savings. Building any business around water treatment, water preservation, water restoration is a $1 trillion industry. The elite savings plan. See, while everybody lives in the cities, the elite have rural area houses. They live where they have their own gardens. They have their own food source. The elite's real savings plan is food. Not just MREs. Oh, is that what they're called? The things in the military? They give you the little pack to eat. Preserve food. You know what's crazy? Is we talk to people in the military, they actually give them fruit packs. Like preserved dried fruit packs. How many people save fruit packs? Preserved fruit. Most people are on the opposite end. They're not dealing with God's money. Guess what most people are dealing with? They're dealing with man's money. Let's see what man's money looks like for food right now. Man's money for food right now looks like growing chickens that are eating M&Ms and corn. They're being fed steroids. That's called God's money. Why? They're pumping out chicken like it's Wingstop. But oh no, for some odd reason right now in the public media, you're seeing that there's supposedly a shortage in supposedly God's money, God's savings, and then we get into man stuff. The man stuff is still actually having a shortage. Chicken. What's a shortage though? When you live in an abundant universe. This is called programming once again. A shortage. So let's get back into the man's money. The man's money is his chicken, whether people want to know it or not. People would like to think food is a commodity and food is a commodity, but that's called non-genetically modified food. See, the genetically modified food, that's God's money. The non-genetically modified food, that's God's money. That's vitamin rich. That's mineral rich. That's from the universe. Man has not tapped in and recreated that. They just create derivatives. See, in the public, they make money off what? Derivatives. Genetically modified derivatives. See, the private elite savings plan, God's money, guess what that is? That's real food. Having your food available to you, having it stored. Savings, why? Savings is an asset. Savings is something you can sell for equal to or greater than the value that you purchased it for or acquired it for. How many people are able to do that? The gold and silver that's even in your cell phone. So this is what Apple did. Apple said, "Hey, we're gonna," and all these cell phone companies, they created a recycle your cell phone plan. So when you recycle your cell phone, you're giving them gold and silver back. You all can Google the story. Just Google Apple recycling gold and silver. So just go and do that, and you can see that uh, that you literally, you know, you can see that. You can see that Apple, you all can go just Google it, Apple recycling gold and silver, how much money they're extracting from gold and silver from their cell phones every single year when people give those things back. That's the elite savings plan. That's big tech doing it. Just wanted to thank you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. Know that this episode was to bring value. Hey, don't sleep on gold and silver. Go grab it, ladies and gentlemen. Look forward to hearing from you all. Gonna bring some more episodes this week. Christian that Trust Christian. Peace.
Economy. This is exactly what he's doing. What else is he doing? He wants an infrastructure bill. He wants to use the credit card of the central bank to rebuild America. Who destroyed America? Who didn't keep up with it? Well, it was the deep state, mainstream media. They were part of it. The central bank. Where did the trillions of dollars go? It went to wars. It went to the Middle East. Trillions with a T. Now he's going to do the same thing. He's going to use this credit card to rebuild America. And after that, if anyone knows anything about bankruptcy, after that, you can then turn the tables on the central bank and show how they weren't following the mandate, how they're corrupt, and how they did things where the American people should not be responsible for paying for all this debt. He's going to show how corrupt the entire system is. And how is gold going to destroy the Fed? Well, think about it. Have we been seeing gold move up? Yes, it bounces up and down. But think about it. When Obama was in office, gold was around 1100. Yes, at one point it hit 1900, but brought it right back down. Trump, since he came into office, what have we seen gold do? Move up. Now, what's very interesting, as gold is continually retaining its value, what is the dollar doing? It is losing its value. Actually, the dollar, its value has dwindled to 30 cents, while gold has continually increased in value. Think about this for a second, because when you look at the gold price, how many dollars now do you need to buy that same ounce of gold? Go back during Obama's term when it hit 1100, you only needed 1100 of the dollars. Now you need 1700 and change of those same dollars. Now, of course, as we know, gold is manipulated. We know that they use paper contracts to keep the gold price down. Because these paper contracts, they're not really attached to gold, so they can have, billions and billions worth of paper contracts, use it to shove the price down. But if you're holding physical, it's retaining its value. And it has for, 5,000 years? So in the end, as the dollar, remember, the dollar is a Federal Reserve note. It's an instrument of debt. It's not a U.S. Treasury note. It's a Federal Reserve note with interest attached. And if you look at the $100 bill, the $100 bill is split in half. One side is the Federal Reserve note. The other side is the U.S. Treasury with gold, with we the people. And this shows us that they're getting ready to make this transition from a fiat system. That's actually what gold is going to destroy. It's going to destroy the fiat system that we're in right now. Because the central bankers, they took us off of the gold standard and they put us on a complete fiat system. Gold is going to return us to sound money. Now, do I mean that every single dollar is going to be convertible? No. I do believe they're going to use gold as a base to build confidence in the new system, because we're going to be transitioning out of the Federal Reserve, just like we transitioned from a gold standard back in the 70s into the petrodollar system. We came off the confidence builder and we moved on to an unknown system, which was the petrodollar. When we transferred from one system to another, what happened? The dollar lost value very, very quickly. Why? Because we came off of sound money. What did they have to do to control inflation, which is the dollar losing value? They had to raise interest rates to counter it. And this is why we saw things move up. Actually, we didn't see them move up. We saw the dollar lose value, so you needed more of those dollars to pay for the same exact thing. So when people look at this and they say, well, the central bank system looks pretty darn good when we came off the gold standard, it really isn't. Yes, you might think you're making more money because your salary went up, but everything else went up twice as much as your salary. So I'll give you an example. If you're making $5,000 a year and you bought a house for $25,000, your salary might have gone up double, maybe to $10,000, but that house went up to $75,000. And that kept on moving up. Actually, the dollar kept on losing value, and the products, the homes, everything else, they've become out of reach. So this is why they had to bring in credit cards to make up the difference. This is why they had to bring in longer loan terms. This is why you needed an additional person working. This is why you needed payment plans. This is why you needed to offshore everything out of the United States and let other countries do it where their labor is much, much cheaper and they didn't have the regulations, they didn't have the tax burdens that they set up to move everything out of here. This is why this was all done. It's not that the automobile that you are purchasing went up in price. It's that the dollar, the Federal Reserve note, lost almost all its value. Because with production today, with assembly lines, the cost of making these products should be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, not more expensive. And we're not seeing it. We don't see it in automobiles. We don't see it in a lot of things, especially food. Food, that keeps on moving up because the value of the dollar continually decreases. Now think about when we go from a petrodollar full fiat system to a gold standard system. Well, if we had the opposite effect where the value of the dollar lost its value and you needed more dollars, when we go back to sound money, you're going to need less dollars because it's going to be worth more. Your buying power is going to come back. People are going to realize this. They're going to notice it. And it's going to be a huge shift. And people are going to start to realize this fiat system is not good. It's not a benefit to the people. It does not work for the people. And this day is coming. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.
All right, family. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of how all this stuff actually ties in. For those of you that don't understand, this is Trustee Training. I got a lot to talk about, short time to get it in. We've been talking about CECL implementation. You heard one of my mentors break down, you know, God's economy. Um, you've heard my guy Dave break down how gold is actually going to be a really good hedge against all of the uh, stuff that's going on economically. And what I'm going to share with you right now is the accounting concept that you'll be able to take advantage of with CECL. All right. Now, for those of you that are not part of the mix here, let me help you out. Let's see, I'm going to go here. And I'm going to open up this doc here. And I'm going to show you in the accounting manual how all this stuff works. And when I show you how all this stuff works, I want you to be very clear. You know, except for we suffer for the lack of knowledge. So, literally, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that you, quote unquote, don't suffer. You know, in the aspect of breaking this down. Like, let's see. First off, okay, let's close this. Let's go here. Let's yeah, I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna close this. Alright, now let's see if I can get everybody on board. Alright, so alright, give me a second. I'm gonna switch gears here. So go into this composite because I got to go inside of this composite and mm, you're gonna give me a hard time. Yeah, you give me a hard time, hard time, hard time. Yeah, you're gonna give me a hard time. Right, okay. Yeah, okay. So let's go back into your. Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna open that panel up and go into Diversity Trust. There we go. Arrange it. There we go. Now, all right. Now let's go into this manual and really turn up on how this goes. All right, so I'm gonna go to the section here that's gonna kind of really tie this stuff in. So pay attention because if you listen long enough, you're definitely gonna learn something. Let's talk about first of all the accounting principles. To distinguish accounting principles from the sense in which the term principle is used in physical science, various other terms like postulates, concepts, conventions, doctrines, tenets, maxims, assumptions, etc., have been used by writers of accounting theory. Instead of wasting our time to discuss the precise meaning of these generic terms, we should concern ourselves with the significance of the importance of these ideas in the practical work of the accountants. However, a slight distinction is made between the two terms. The first term, concepts, and then the second term, conventions. See, the term concept is used to connote the accounting postulates, i.e., the necessary assumptions and ideas which are fundamental to the accounting practice. That's concept. They're fundamental to the accounting practice. Then you have the other term called convention. And the conventions is used to signify customs or traditions as a guide to the preparations of the accounting statements. The following are important generally accepted concepts. You have number one, the entity concept. Number two, you have the going concern concept. Number three, you have the money measurement concept. Number four, you have the cost concept. Number five, the accounting period concept. Number six, the dual aspect concept. Number seven, you have the matching concept. Number eight, the realization concept. Number nine, the balance sheet equation concept. And number 10, the verification and objective evidence concept. And then last but not least, and there's more concepts than this, we're just talking about the 11 important ones, it's the accrue concept. Now we're going to talk about this number 3, the money measurement concept. Why? Because you just heard the entire breakdown of where we are economically with this system. So we're going to go into the money measurement concept. So here we go. The money measurement concept is the money measurement concept underlies the fact that in accounting, every worth recording event happening or transaction is recorded in terms of money. In other words, a fact or a happening which cannot be expressed in terms of money is not recorded in the accounting books. Listen to this: general health condition of the chairman of the company, working conditions in which a worker has to work, sales policies pursued by the enterprise, quality of the products introduced by the enterprise, etc., cannot be expressed in money terms, and therefore they are not recorded in the books. In view of the above conditions, this concept puts a serious handicap on the usefulness of accounting records for management decisions. Accounting records shouldn't be used for management positions. Accounting records should be used to express what the company events are happenings or transactions in terms of money. So in the view of the above conditions, this concept puts a serious handicap on the usefulness of the accounting records for management decisions. This concept has another serious limitation and is currently attracting the attention of accountants all over the world. As per this concept, a transaction is recorded at its money value on the date of occurrence, and subsequent changes in the money value are conveniently ignored. I use this concept with a lot of attorneys and various different trustees to demonstrate that a certified public accountant is taught to ignore certain entries when you're using a connotative concept of money valuation. Cash is not a generally accepted accounting principle. So therefore, as per this concept, a transaction is recorded at its money value on the date of occurrence, and subsequent changes in the money value are conveniently ignored. They conveniently ignore that the dollar that you call money is actually money in the world of accounting because it doesn't fit into the generally accepted accounting principle. Why doesn't it fit? Excuse me. Under that concept. Well, let me explain. Money You will classify what you call cash as money. But when you look up the term money, constitutional money, constitutional money will actually tie into what we call coin. And coin, money, is usually metal based. And the term dollar in the aspect of constitutional dollar or constitutional money represents silver. So, silver is actually constitutional money, and paper is what we consider the Federal Reserve note. And you just heard my mentor break this all down. And who would have never thought, or who knew that the money measurement concept is just that powerful? Remember, this concept has a serious limitation and is currently attracting the attentions of accountants all over the world. You know why? Because the rules that they have are designed to recoup and recapture anyone who cannot properly utilize this money measurement concept. Hopefully, this information was helpful. Stay tuned, we got more exclusive content coming up. They said a revolution will not be televised. We say, what if it is? You just didn't know it. If you keep listening long enough, you just might learn something. Peace and love, family. Peace and love.